Hello
Hello,
and
hello.
welcome. Welcome to Meatless
Hello.
Monday, where we are all about the plants. And this is our lovely and excellent producer, JJ. I was going to say JJ Veganowledge. Wait, that's me. JJ Video Reacts. If you haven't been to her channel, check it out. She does these beautiful backgrounds of the vegetables, sets up the whole stream. She's a producer. If you need help with videos or your live streams, check it out. She is excellent.
Thank you, honey. I
And
appreciate
let's
you.
see. And she's also vegan. Gotta love that, right?
That I
How
am.
fitting. Plant-based and plant-based producer. Um, this is a really interesting stream for me. It's like one of the topics that I'm probably most passionate about, that we, discuss is that how you can prevent and reverse disease on a healthy plant-based, whole food plant-based diet. It's one of the things that the reason I'm so passionate is because I ran into this by you actually sharing the raw food healing documentary with me. And I got really like, that's what started it. So I saw something online. It was a YouTube, I think, what we were watching it on, and it triggered this change in my life. Just that one documentary led to me doing more research, led to me going raw, and led to me then, now I'm not all raw, but that's what led to it. And that's what introduced me to this whole world. And I felt like I literally had been asleep for 42 years. I was like, you're kidding me that these people are giving testimonials that they've cured their type 2 diabetes, completely gone off medication. People have cured cancer. People have cured, went off their high blood pressure medication, heart disease, things, chronic pain and inflammation, things that you think that you just have to deal with as you get older. These things had just dissipated. And for me, as I tell you guys every week, I went vegan in 2019, and that April was the first year, and going into May, June, July, that I never had seasonal allergies in my entire life since I can remember sitting in the back of the classroom with a big thing of Kleenex and Dimetapp. And then, all the way till even in my late teens, I started getting back pain from an injury. That's completely was gone within like 30 to 60 days. I had no more back pain that I had experienced for my whole life. I had more energy. I lost 55 pounds over a 5-month period, and I've kept it off now. It's almost 4 years this April. So, like, this to me is just, not only did I read about it, but I experienced some of it. And luckily, I only had slightly high blood pressure, but that runs in my family. And so I was so happy that I feel like I've gotten a control over my health instead of just waiting for things to happen to us. They don't have to happen like that. And I know, so the name of the stream obviously is preventing and reversing disease with a healthy whole food plant-based diet. And we're so excited because we have Stephanie here, Stephanie Kiyak. I ran into her page, I would say, I don't know how long I've been a member of your group, but it's been quite a while now. But I think it was a year or two ago, if you've had it that long. I feel like I've been seeing posts, and I was like, this is such a great name. She has a Facebook group called Reversing Disease Through a Healthy Plant-Based Diet. And if I get the name wrong, she'll have to correct me, but it's very similar. And if you go to the description, we have the link. And I believe she was telling me there's also a mission statement, which we can read as we get into this. But I really think there's a need for this information to be out there, because most people don't know that they can actually heal themselves, and they don't know how good they'll feel and how great it is to eat this way, and it's not as hard as you think. So I want to introduce Stephanie. Are you here? Can you hear us okay? I see her box in here, Dawn. Do you see her?
Yeah, I let her in, but her box is blank. So I don't know if maybe if you can hear us, Stephanie, we can't see anything but the black box. If you look on YouTube under it, you'll see the same thing. I'm gonna take you out. Are you there? I'm gonna take you out of the stream. Maybe try to hit the link again. I don't know. Something's going on.
Okay, we'll see if she'll come in. One of the things I'm excited to talk to her about and to refer everybody to her page is I have a page called the Vegan Do It group, Veganowledge, and we have a great group where we share like a bunch of different things. We share like some recipes, which she does too, but she does a lot of great stories and information on how people have healed themselves, and
She's
she does
not gonna go
shows
ahead and try it
testimony.
again.
Okay, let me try to reach out to her. But it's the information that's really hidden. Um Here she comes now. Okay. It's the information that's hidden in the mainstream media. You don't hear every night about people healing themselves with a plant-based diet, although it's happening every minute, every day. So let's
Stephanie,
see if
you
we can.
there?
Maybe you're mute. I remember I had this problem with sound one time. Let's see if we can get her in here. I don't even see her microphone moving or anything, so maybe there's something wrong. Maybe I should resend her the link.
Yeah, I guess we could try that.
Okay. I'm going to send you a new link.
Oh, wait a minute. She's on here twice. Let
Oh,
me take
okay.
that one off.
Oops, I think she's gone now. Did they change it? We can only have two at a time talking? No, that can't be. I've seen panels of like 20 people. Well, thank you all for your patience and welcome to the Meatless Monday edition. And we will have Stephanie in here soon. Oh, I think she's in. I see the picture now. Do you see it?
No,
Okay, she's on the bottom, really small. Or now
that's
she's in the big
actually,
box.
yeah, that's us, really small.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm okay with that.
There we go. Stephanie, can you hear us? Hello?
I don't think she can because she's not saying anything. There must be something wrong. Let me try to I know sometimes once you click on the I've had to just go out and open a completely new browser, Stephanie, if you're still listening on YouTube. Uh, let's see here. I'm going to try to reach
And
out to her on
make sure you
Facebook.
go through Safari and not Chrome, not Google Chrome.
Oh,
Okay, I'm still seeing a black screen. Hello? Yeah, maybe try. Make sure you're going to Safari instead of Google Chrome. I
I
don't know
wonder
if on the.
if she's on the desktop or a phone. Sometimes it works on one better than the other. I usually come in on the desktop, but I have come in from phone. But it's weird because usually we'll see your like picture, or I don't know if you just have your logo or if you have your if you're on live video, but it's so weird. It's not.
That's
She's
how
on
it
the
is when.
desktop.
Yeah, she's on the desktop.
Yes, a laptop.
Weird. I wonder if she's got her settings hooked up.
I don't know. It's hard because it's so difficult when you can't see like how things are set up on there, and then everybody's computer is a little
Hello?
different.
Yeah, it might be something in your settings, Stephanie, because we're like maybe your camera's clicked off or your sound or it's not linked up to your mic. Because all we're getting is a black box here with no sound, no pic.
Let's see. Well, we have, we've
You
done
can
this
try
before with
resending her the
technical
link
difficulties.
again.
I did. So she's gonna. I
Okay.
asked her to just open up a new complete browser, and then sometimes it'll say allow. and you have to click on allow. I don't know if that already happened. Maybe if
Okay.
let me see if she can call, I can try to
I'll tell you what we'll try, Stephanie. How about I put a link down here in the chat and you click that and maybe you can come on that way. It'll be right there in the chat for you. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, try clicking that link that's in the chat of the video in the live chat and see if we can't get you on that way.
Okay, I just let her know in case. I don't know if she's listening in too, or just like, how you can only hear it through the
Mm-hmm.
desktop. It's so sometimes restream. Last week I think I tried to come in on the phone. Yeah, we definitely next time we will do a test run. That was a suggestion. I think that Stephanie was saying that I should have checked, and that is exactly right. We'll try to do that next time we have a guest come on at maybe quarter after and make sure that we could. I was running so late working up till 7:30.
Yeah.
um
Yeah. There wasn't a
so
lot of time to do that, but
oh,
I
okay, I think I see her in now. Is it that maybe she just can't hear us? Well, she said that she could try to join next week if we get it sorted out, because I think um
well, I don't know that it's on our
she
end.
said
It's
she sees us. I mean, she can hear us fine. So it's something going on with the microphone, it looks like.
but yeah, I don't know that it's on our end, but yeah, maybe we play around with this a few minutes early and make sure we have everything right on the other end. Did you
Yeah,
try
like I
clicking the link on the live stream itself? I don't know if you can hear us,
too,
but
another thing, she can hear us. I was gonna say where the microphone is there a way that like she can go to settings? Maybe her mic is not connected with our,
that's
like,
what I
because
was thinking.
there's a
If she
little
went to her settings in her computer, or
yeah, like when you're looking at it, I'm looking here, I see a little settings button, little steering wheel thing to the right. I wonder if that has, I believe that might be sometimes, yeah, that will show you video, audio. Let me see. And then you can choose the microphone. If you are in settings, that, and then you can see where it says audio. Can you look in there and see if it says default microphone is on? I think I just figured something out for when my sound is being crazy. Maybe
yeah,
that's the
that's
problem.
actually on the back end where we are. She doesn't have access to that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe can we connect her mic, or we can't from her end?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, we tried. Um,
Sorry, we tried. I don't know
I don't know how
what's
else to get
happening.
her sound going, but I think the only thing you could do is maybe try on a complete different browser, like maybe
Or
Edge
maybe
or,
coming on your phone.
yeah.
But in
Okay.
any event, for anyone else who's listening, we do have Stephanie's link in our chat. If you want to check out her Facebook page, it's Reversing Disease Through a Healthy Whole Plant-Based Diet. And you can get all kinds of tips and tricks and reversing strategies with plant-based diet that can help you literally reverse disease.
Yes, like it, just a couple of things. She's going to try to join us next week too, so that'll be great, and we'll get all the
Okay.
technical issues worked out. But she is post something like, this is just a tip. Earlier she said this is a good way. It was like a fruit platter, just using cookie cutters, some fun stuff like that. And then we have one that said, a whole food plant-based diet helped me recover from cancer. She left, there's a story up there of someone, a couple of
Wow, I
there's
would have
and
loved to hear about that. I had somebody on my TikTok come on and tell me that that's not true. You can't reverse cancer with a plant-based diet. I'm like, actually, I'm a cancer survivor and I've successfully managed to stay away from cancer being a vegan. So don't tell me it can't reverse. We've met and talked to people who have literally reversed it. And apparently she's one of them, you're saying?
No, this was a story that was shared. I was just
That
reading
was
a
on her
couple of
page.
things.
Okay.
Yes, but what I've talked with Stephanie about, and we'll pick that up next week, or if she wants to, make a comment too, is that one of the things that's so frustrating is that sometimes our family, our friends, and people on Facebook, acquaintances, or people we work with, it seems like, I hate for people not to be empowered for their own health, and they just think, well, when I get older, this kind of stuff is going to happen. I'm not going to be able to walk as good, or, when I get older, I'm not going to have as much energy, or when I get older, I'm just automatically going to be on 10 different medications. I'm going to probably become diabetic because everybody in my family has. But those things are things that you might have the genetic predisposition for, but no one tells you, even doctors are not medically trained. I think Stephanie posted something earlier saying they are not really trained to tell you what the impact, and some of them don't even know, never studied nutrition to see what the impact is that that food has on our health. They're very intelligent, and thank goodness for doctors and nurses. I'm so grateful for them, because once we have stuff happening, they are on the front line and they're helping us in that moment. It's the prevention part that we have to get everybody on board with. And unfortunately, when you look at the industry itself, what they're looking at is a reactive way of dealing with it. Oh, your blood sugar is high, so you need to stop eating as much sugar. But what we realize, and I just listened to, there's a really good podcast called Exam Room Live. Many of you probably have seen it. Exam Room Live is, he interviews people, different, sometimes it's experts on gut health, sometimes it is people who've literally reversed cancer or diabetes. And he had a lady on there, a doctor that is a plant-based doctor and a medical doctor, and was giving tips. And she said one of the things that she has so many patients that are amazed when she tells them that it's not sugar that actually is causing you to have insulin resistance. It's because the a high fat diet, when there's a too much excess fat buildup in your muscle cells where the sugar is supposed to go, it ends up at some point, that this is why you don't have type 2 diabetes when you're born. It's something that develops usually when you become overweight, or over time of eating that standard American high fat diet. Even if it's not junk food, if you're eating meat and dairy in your diet, even though you might think I'm doing really good for my health because I get up and I eat a bowl of oatmeal with dairy milk every morning, and then I eat a piece of cheese and some grapes for lunch, and you're thinking you're doing the right thing for your body, but by putting the meat and dairy in, you're causing this excess fat to get caught up in those cells. So now all of a sudden, when you go to eat a piece of bread that you could always eat your entire life, or maybe just one cookie, or a banana, or something like a fruit, all of a sudden that's going to start spiking your blood sugar, and you're going to start saying, oh, I need to get completely off carbs. I can't eat anything I want anymore. And you're looking at the wrong culprit. You're looking at the actual sugary food, when really, if you go plant-based, I've heard someone say within 2 weeks before they've even gotten off of some of their medication. But within a couple of weeks, you're going to start to see that you're starting to clear out your body of those, where those sugars are supposed to go. So the blood's not going to back up. I mean, the sugar is not going to back up into the bloodstream and cause insulin resistance, and you start to then have your sugars going back where they naturally can go. And we do talk about this every week too. Make sure that you do, if you're already on medication, tell your doctor, because if you're eating a really good whole food diet and then you're lowering your blood sugars naturally and leveling them back out, and they have you on a really high dose of medication to lower them, you don't want it to go too low. You don't want it to work that well, without them taking you off that medication. So it's just, that's something I didn't know. And Dawn, I remember talking to you about that, and that really, it took me a minute to get in with that one because of how we've all been programmed.
Yeah. Yep.
That was one of the things I think you told me that surprised you the most when we learned about all this stuff. And then you do a lot of fasting, and what is the guy's name that you found this out from?
Found out what? Jason Fung?
Jason Fung, yes. So
Yeah.
he's curing people by just having them, fast, and that is showing that there's just so many different ways that you want to get to the core root of these problems, not necessarily getting to the just fixing them or managing them. And I think that's what's missing, in the medical industry.
Yeah, they don't deal with nutrition or anything like that. And it's one of the things I like about doctors nowadays. A lot of them are going more with the holistic approach. They're also incorporating
Mhm.
mental, healing as well. And, just taking just the old school approach, just like Fung went back to something that was done back in biblical times when people were sick, they fasted. Animals instinctively fast when they're under the weather. And it gives your body a chance to basically, since it's not digesting food, because it takes a lot of work for your body to digest food, especially when you're eating the wrong stuff, that it wasn't meant to digest. And we all know what that is: meat, dairy, anything that has to do with animal products. Your body was not meant to digest that. But just even regular whole foods, if you give your body a break from digestion, period, and let it just focus, make sure you hydrate, drink plenty of water, take some vitamins, your body will begin to go through and heal the things that are wrong. Fasting is also something that has been known to, on many different occasions, consume cancerous tumors in the body. The body
Mhm.
will eat those tumors. If you're not giving it anything else to eat, it will begin to go through and eat and clean up excess fat, sugar, and all of those things that exist in the body that really, and just detoxify naturally.
You,
So a
not
lot of
only
people think
that.
it's yeah, a lot of people think it's unhealthy not to eat, but it's really one of the healthiest things you can do.
Well, I was thinking to bounce off of that. If you think about it, immediately when you're not feeling good, the first thing you think of is not, I gotta eat because I'm not feeling good. Your body naturally knows how to heal. It doesn't eat when you're like that because it knows it needs to expel that energy on healing. So
Hmm.
that's one of the reasons too that in my mind, that I say all the time, like, our bodies model those animals who eat plants, and animals instinctively know what they're supposed to eat, and so do we, really. But we've had so much programming that have been in our heads since the minute we were, basically out of the womb, sitting in the high chair, we're being told, you have to eat this, and you know what I mean, and being told how to eat. And it muddles up what our real true instincts are. Like, we always talk about that baby that is in the crib. He's not going to take a bite out of the rabbit and play with the apple. He's going to want to eat the apple instinctively and play with the rabbit. Like, we don't just automatically crave meat is something that we have been traditionally fed and it's seasoned up and it doesn't look like a dead animal, so we have that disconnect. But what I was thinking about too when you were saying that, I thought about 10 things and it's like all getting together in my head. I'm so passionate about it. But when you think about your car, and I think Stephanie posted about this earlier too, your car has an owner's manual. And when you look at that owner's manual, you realize, okay, I have a, 2000 whatever, let's say you have a Nissan, and this is what kind of gas it takes, this is what kind of oil it takes. Our bodies scientifically are set up just like that. Our body is designed to eat a certain way. If you look at the digestive tract of a animal that eats, vegetables and fruits, like a rabbit, let's just say, and you look at an animal that eats carnivorous like meat, if you look at like a tiger or something like that, you can see the difference in their digestive tracts. One is a really long digestive tract that is meant to break down fruits and vegetables. The way that our teeth move is like more in a circular grinding motion. You'll see that an animal that eats meat kind of chomps up and down, and they have like really big, not those little fangs that we have to be able to bite into an apple. They have, really sharp teeth, that's going to rip into a raw, an actual animal that's trying to run from it. They've got those
Right.
instincts. So what ends up happening, because we're not meant to eat meat, is that this meat sits in our system, our bodies. For too long, because their digestive systems are so short that it's meant to come in and out of the system. So it's giving it produces, it's making bacteria because it's staying in your system. It's causing constipation. The pH level in what we break down our meats, our food with, is not the same as it is for someone who's supposed to eat meat. So we end up having a lot of problems with acid reflux. We have problems with IBS. We have the whole world is constipated. There's whole rows and rows of, things that are trying to make us go to the bathroom. We have so many people with stomach issues, and everybody that is on these medications doesn't realize that it's not, and I didn't either, but it wasn't tomato sauce that was what I used to think would give me heartburn. It wasn't that at all. What it was is what I was eating, and my pH levels were all off because I was eating meat and dairy. And what ended up happening is now I don't have that happen even when I eat spicy food or, too many beans. It doesn't give me the heartburn that it used to, which is because you cleared out your system and you started putting the right fuel in. If you look at all the health benefits that broccoli has, like it reduces inflammation, it can shrink tumors. All these fruits and vegetables have a phytochemicals, which are and antioxidants, which fight and prevent those cellular growth of cancer. They give you energy. You can get everything you need from vegetables. And I think, like, we put the right thing in our car, but not we don't put the right thing in our body, and we wonder why we're having all these issues. Like, literally, like I was saying earlier, having back pain for that long, and then after 30 days, I mean, for, like, see, I was probably around 19 when that started, 29, 39, for 22 years, and within 30 days to 60 days for that back pain, all that inflammation to be gone. And then brings us to into dairy. Like, 'cause some people are like, well, why not vegetarian? Dairy is so harmful because, first of all, it's been known to cause cancer, certain kinds of cancers. It's actually proven if you look it up, if you find the right study, because the dairy industry might have paid to dispute that. But and then another thing is, we are designed to drink our mother's milk, and only up until a certain point when we're able to go ahead and eat our solid foods. But what ends up happening, a baby cow is meant to drink its mother's milk. So we're not meant to drink the milk from a cow, and that's our body is reacting negatively to that. That's why people have lactose intolerance. But what I've found in my research is not only that, it's not only that you have stomach issues, but your skin conditions. If you have eczema or something like that that you deal with, that could be
Mm-hmm.
being caused by dairy. I know a guy that I'll share his story on his YouTube channel, but he actually he had asthma since a kid, got off dairy, asthma's gone. So our body is reacting to these substances we're not supposed to eat. And just imagine if you put everything that you're supposed to in, all these, these good fruits and vegetables that have all these health benefits, and you get rid of everything that you're not supposed to be eating. Imagine how good you'll feel. You'll feel so clean, and you really will. It will just change your life. You don't have to worry about the side effects of this medication because you'll be off the medication.
Right.
People don't believe it, and it's almost like too good to be true. If this was a pill, it would be selling off the shelves, I say every week.
Dude,
But
let me say this one thing. I'm sitting here realizing that I went maybe a day or two without moringa, my little moringa compound, and you know what I put in it. Um, and I didn't get stuffy, Jen. You know that?
really,
Yeah.
wow.
And it's been since August that I last ate pizza, which we all know, anybody that's listened to us knows that that was my last, you know, piece of dairy that I held on to. I'm not a big egg eater. I was already converted over to the Hellman's vegan mayo and the vegan butter and the almond milk last, like, way, when I first decided to stop eating meat back in 2020. So everything was done but pizza. Pizza was my arch nemesis, and I continued to eat pizza. That was the only thing that I would eat that crossed the line, and I continued to eat that up until August of this past year. But I made a decision to go completely vegan and drop the pizza. And I have to tell you, every now and then when I would skip, moringa every now and then, just a day or whatever, I would get stuffy.
Hmm.
And with the kratom in there, I think, kratom's not illegal, so it's a lot more widely known than it was when you first started, taking it. So I feel okay in talking about it, but I would have because kratom is an herbal supplement. It's
Tell them what
excellent.
moringa is as well, because I remember
Yeah,
moringa leaf powder is also another good thing that you, not only for allergies, but it's good for vegans in general because
right.
it has so many nutrients. Like I don't even eat all day. I just basically can get everything I need with that if I wanted to.
Right.
But
It's got it's tons of antioxidants, it's got tons of minerals, it's got amino acids. It boosts your immune system, it helps with anti-aging, um you name it, skin, hair, nails. It's very good for all of that. And it's got, if you ever look it up, there's plenty of YouTube videos on it. It's got, I don't know how many times the calcium of cow's milk. It's got a gazillion times more vitamin C
iron and
than
spinach.
more iron and vitamin K than spinach, more vitamin C than oranges. I mean, this is really a superfood, and you can get it in a organic powder form where they just take the leaves off, and you can literally, you know, you can use the seeds, you can use the bark, but the most wide use is to ground the leaves into a powder, and then just put that in a smoothie or over salads, or just drink it in water, which is what I do.
Or you can
And
supplement, like they do have, if you're someone who doesn't mind taking, capsules, you can get it in the vegan capsules as well, which I did
she wimped
last
out
time.
on me, y'all. She used to drink it with me. Now she just takes the capsule.
But I
As
noticed
long as you
even
get it in. But look,
people
I
that
was
take
saying
that.
that to say I skipped a day or two, and I didn't
Mhm.
get stuffy since I've stopped eating pizza. The last of the mucus is gone.
And that brings me to this point. Think about when you develop mucus for something. When you feel like when you're fighting an infection, let's say you get a cold, the body builds up mucus because that's its way of fighting that infection. If you look at that, what I was saying about milk from a cow's boob is a foreign substance to you. That's for a baby cow. So when you're drinking that, it's not meant for human, you're getting an adverse reaction. It's building up mucus. Like, what is this? And a lot of that's why ever heard of when you have a cold you don't want to drink milk. They've said this in so many ways, but never have come out and said because dairy causes this. And people
Mm-hmm.
will fight it with everything they have. People have this odd thing that they do not have an open mind, that they think there's a disconnect between here's what's happening to me and here's the food I eat. Sometimes we get it like, oh, if I get sick, I want to take this medicine, but you don't realize everything. I think I saw a post the other day, and I can't remember if it was on whose page it was on. I'm sorry. I think it might have been the reversing disease, but I might be wrong. Or maybe it was Mr. Ron recently, but it said ever everything you eat either fuels uh, either helps or it causes disease or something, like it prevents or causes it. And if you think about it, you want to put things in that are going to help you. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a child right now that's being fed milk, and the mom and dad think they're doing the right thing if they're drinking cow's milk by giving them strong bones and making them healthy, and they might be causing them to develop asthma
You
or
know what cracks
type 2
me up?
diabetes. It's a shame that this isn't put out there, so it's not just a live stream here and there, or you have to research and find this out. It should be more mainstream.
You know what cracks me up when I hear people say that they're lactose intolerant. Everybody is lactose intolerant. It's just your body has given you a little bit more shit about it than the average Joe. Some people
Right.
think that they've stepped into a zone where I'm lactose, and guess what? Everybody is. Just
Right. Because
everybody doesn't realize it.
yes, that's it. And it's like just because you had stomach issues, that means that's how your
Your
body's
body
reacting to
reacted
it.
to it
But the
in an
guy sitting
adverse
next
way.
and we're not connecting that, oh, I have these red, maybe blotches on my face, or I have a skin condition, or even the child is having
And this
issues
is
with.
this is a poor example, but because I don't, I don't smoke. I used to a long time ago, just for a short period of time, so I get why people smoke. But the bottom line is, everybody that smokes does not get cancer. So everybody that drinks milk doesn't experience an adverse effect to the lactate or the lactose that's in their body. Lactate, the lactose that's in their body, but their body over long periods of time will show signs of aging, degenerative diseases. That's where all of that comes from. You
Ye-
may think just because you're not sitting there with what do they take for it? Lactate, what I just said. Just because you don't have to take lactate doesn't mean it's not affecting your body in a bad way.
Exactly. And that reminds me, oh, what was I just gonna say? Oh, first of all, Dr. Milton Mills, he has a lot of great information, and he's part of the head of an organization called Switch for Good, which it has so much really good information about that. And there's so many good, plant milks that are out here. I know we're all used to eating how we are used to. We want to eat our bowl of cereal, we want to eat oatmeal, we want to have a glass of milk, we want to drink it with whatever the case is, recipes you might need to make. They have soy milk, almond milk, oat milk, just so many different milks. That's not even what I was going to say. Something you just mentioned made me think of something else. Tell me, right, where were you going with that? You were saying that they don't realize that, oh, what was that part about the cow's milk? And then there was this really good bit of information. Now I forgot. I'm gonna start writing. I need to get a pen over here so I can write it down. So I didn't want to butt in and interrupt. You were on such a good run there, but yeah, like things that you would never even connect to that being about dairy. Like I had no idea that allergies were, you know, that could have been the reason. Now I gave up dairy, I don't have allergies anymore, because I'm thinking that's because I go out into the, it did happen in summertime, it happened at certain times, but the mucus wasn't there because I wasn't drinking the dairy. So it kind of just,
And you know
they,
what I realized? The concoction that I drink was offsetting the mucus. It wasn't getting rid of it. It was
yes,
offsetting it. That's why. And literally we are figuring this stuff out. I'm figuring this out in real time as we're speaking. I'm thinking it was offsetting it because it had so many nutrients and minerals that it was offsetting what the effects that the mucus was having in my body. When I stopped eating dairy,
you
that
got rid of the
completely,
cause.
I got rid of the cause of it. It's just like what Fung says about fasting with diabetes. Kidney disease is a byproduct of diabetes. Well, instead of treating kidney diabetes with insulin and helping the body regulate it, get rid of the diabetes. And you
Yeah.
get rid of diabetes by making your body upregulate its own blood sugar level. And you do that with fasting. You would think that, oh, you can't tell a diabetic to fast, they'll pass out, they'll have a diabetic seizure or something. That's not necessarily true. As long as they are under supervised care, which shout out to True North Clinic, that's what they do. You with a medically supervised diet. I wouldn't tell anybody not to do it medically supervised if you're on medications. If you're not, go for it. I do it all the time. I've never had medical supervision while I was fat. I fasted as long as 2 weeks to 20 days at a time. But if you are on medication and you have diabetes, give it a shot. What's the
Hmm.
worst that can happen? You get hungry or you get a little bit of a headache or something, and just make sure you're medically supervised, and you will find yourself coming off of that medication. I really
Well,
don't need
and
to drink moringa, but I'm
a,
going to drink
sus-
it because it's good for you.
a whole food plant-based diet in addition to that, and you can add in some intermittent fasting if you want, because it is good
Yep, yep, yep.
to take care of that. It definitely can work the same way, because when you're putting in things that are going to, like, Dr. Oh, what is his name? Dr. Robbie, I think it was. It's either Cyrus or Robbie from the Mastering guys from Mastering Diabetes. I have that clip that I always share. He basically says, okay, like if you look at your kitchen sink, and that drain in your sink is those cells where the sugar is supposed to go, that hole is where your sugars are supposed to go, let's just say. So you start eating a high fat diet, or over time you've been eating meat, dairy, animal products, all of a sudden you're getting those drains clogged up. Well, what happens is then you come in and you're like, you know what, I think I need to dump this fruit juice into the sink. Well, the drain's clogged, so the fruit juice starts backing up. So all of a sudden you're like, you know what, this sink can't have fruit juice. We can't put it in here. Look, when I put the fruit juice in, it's backing up. Well, when you get the Drano, which is the whole food plant-based diet, fasting, and mixed with a whole food plant-based diet, however you choose to go about it, you are then the drain unclogs. So you pour the fruit juice in, and all of a sudden it goes where it's supposed to, down the drain. That's what you're doing. You're opening up your body to put it back in synergy how it was
You're
supposed
doing
to operate.
a holistic garbage disposal.
You're not putting now diesel gas in a regular gas
Unleaded.
car.
Yeah.
It's like, and the thing is, though, what we always talk about, and now I think, if you go to the description and you click on the link to Stephanie's, after the stream, if you go in the description of this, you click on the reversing disease link, you go to that group, you'll find all kinds of information and testimonials. We spoke with Mark Samuel and Rick McKeon, and they both have healed themselves on a plant based diet. Mark stopped his symptoms of MS, and he's still a really active member of my group, which I'm so thankful that he comes in and comments so he can give his because it always helps. I feel like and like the stories I put out. A lady just got off of her type 2 diabetes medication. Another
Hmm.
lady
Hmm.
cured the heart. Hearing these stories are like the way that it will start to click for you. But then, okay, let's say, okay, all right, Dawn and Jen, JJ Veganowledge, I understand that you want me to do this, but then there's this whole other set of issues that comes in. But how? You know what I mean? Like that's something like for us, I was programmed over 42 years to eat a certain way. So it's not easy, but the cool thing is now that you have supporting groups like we talk with Marakita and June from the We Did It Health and Peter. They have coachings. We can help you through it. You can go on these free Facebook groups where you can find out here's what to eat, here's what people eat in a day. There's tons of YouTube videos, and it's really the easiest diet that you can do. It's you don't have any restrictions other than you can't have meat or dairy. You can have as much food as you want, and there's like it's cheap. People are like, "Oh, it's too expensive." Well, if you buy processed, like if you want to get a chicken substitute with the Gardein chicken and you buy a ton of that, so meat is just as expensive. But really, fruits and vegetables and potatoes and beans are really some of the most inexpensive things you can buy. And there's so many ways that you can mix together like different things. Like last night we did put mushrooms in the food processor with chili powder and beans
It
and
was
made a
so
really
good.
big chili, and Dawn really liked that. We did this pasta salad with the Hellman's vegan mayo. I know that's not a complete, maybe I didn't make my own mayo, but it was so good. We just put a veggies in and the veggie pasta. Now they have chickpea pasta, which tastes really good. And it's just so, what, Dawn, do you make the chickpea salad?
Mm-hmm.
She
Tastes
does
just like
a
tuna fish.
deviled eggs. What else have you come up with? And then of course your really your cabbage mixture there that you do. It was so good.
That's
She's
my
got this
fave. That's all I
tasting like
eat
Asian
anymore.
food.
It's
Last
like
night,
I chop up some cabbage, some onion, and some carrots, and sometimes I'll throw a little bit of mushrooms in there and some mung bean sprouts, just with a little avocado oil, some sea salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. And oh my God, that is the best stuff.
yes,
Just
it like
stir fry it for 5 minutes.
your body starts to like crave the freshness of the fruits and vegetables and starts to steer. I know it's hard to believe because I didn't believe it would ever happen to me because I was a big cheese and meat eater, but when you actually put really good fresh stuff in your body, those tastes are what you start to crave. Like I can't wait. I had last night, I just put in a baking thing, and you can use like a crock pot or whatever, just put some potatoes and cabbage and broccoli and celery. I just did a mix of all kinds of vegetables. You can throw mushrooms in, have some pinto beans with it. Like you'll realize you really mostly eat a lot of vegetables if you can just delete that one thing. And like you said, you can veganize it. Even if your family is like, no, I'm not gonna, I
Wait a
need to
minute,
have a
Jen, did
burger.
you when did we do the pizza?
That was we started that at Super Bowl. We had our first one, and then we made it again last weekend.
Dude, that was so good. She made an awesome vegan pizza that was out of this world.
Yeah, and it's like you can veganize anything. Like if you're having a Super Bowl party and or whatever kind of gathering, we made vegan Thanksgiving, and it's so good. Like you
You know
just
what? You're the one. It's your pizza. Who'd have thunk it? You know
what?
that? It's your
What?
pizza. I like your pizza.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
You
because I was
came up
like,
with the pizza that I like, even better than
it
that stuff you bought.
it was like the last thing that Dawn wanted to give up. I was like so happy that she like, and one of the things we talk about this all the time. If you have members of your family or your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, or you really can't push things on people. You can only set examples and you can show them the positive health changes that are happening and let them try different things. And at some point, that way it doesn't push them around the other way, is what I feel like happens if you go too hard at people, and people move at their own pace. Like, you like you said, you gave up meat after watching the Gary Yourofsky video, which we were talking about last night, but it took a little bit longer to give up the dairy. But the point is, you got to that point and it was like you couldn't find a good pizza, and I couldn't find one either, so I had to actually make it.
Hmm.
And I've
It's
never been
true.
able to make pizza. I've never even made a pizza like that on my own without
And the cool thing is, I didn't really have a problem giving up dairy, just pizza. And
just
I
pizza.
know pizza's dairy, but I wasn't drinking. I have not drank cow's milk or ate regular butter or um, you eggs. I was never a big egg eater, so that stuff was easy. I remember when we first moved here in this condo that we're in now, and we just went on a cereal kick. Remember that?
Yeah.
And eating cornflakes and stuff like that. And it's like we would just eat cornflakes, no sugar, and just this is when you turned me on to almond milk. And
Mhm.
I was like, okay, let me go ahead and try it. And I loved it. I'm like, wait a minute, that's almond milk? It tastes like just as like regular milk to me. I've never looked back. I've never I was a milk drinker. I would drink milk as cereal if I had a piece of cake or something like that. I'd have some milk. I was one of those people that could just have a nice cold glass of milk and get a craving for it. Well, I don't really get a craving for almond milk like that, but I do like almond milk. It's really, really good. So I'm like, I don't miss milk.
And one of the things we do is like we literally get excited. You have to get yourself motivated and be like, okay, make that commitment like we talked about on the 5 tips. Get ready, like get into it. Like start watching videos on what health benefits of cucumbers and broccoli and celery and start putting together some combinations. Try some different products. Like maybe tonight when you go to the store or next time you go grocery shopping, you come near the milk, instead of grabbing the milk, grab your family the vanilla oat milk or the vanilla almond or vanilla soy. Like try that and it'll show you that you can legitimately you can survive on this. But so much food is like is comfort foods, and it's what we're used to, and it's really hard at first to change. But like I tell everybody, we don't even think about other food anymore. I know
Dude,
what
I
I
was
get when
about
I
to
go to the
say,
restaurant. I
you
know what
know
I get when
something
I go
else
to
we don't eat a lot of?
what.
Sugar.
Yeah, it your body doesn't start craving sugar
I
anymore.
don't crave sugar anymore. And I was somebody who had a huge
Mhm.
sweet tooth. It wouldn't be a thing for me to go to 7-Eleven and get a couple of pieces of pound cake and sit there and just munch out.
I
Just if I
know.
had a sweet tooth, or get a couple of the donuts, I can walk right past that stuff now, Jen. I don't even look at it. And it's
It's
not that I'm
hard to
trying to
believe,
avoid it.
right?
Yeah, it's like I'm not even I can walk by that, and it's not even like I have to avoid it. I can look right at it and be like, nope, I don't want that.
Because
And
'Cause you're
if I
going for the
do eat it, it's too sweet. I can't
yeah.
eat more than one bite of it anymore. I don't crave sugar.
And your
This is
salt intake will
amazing.
go down a lot because you'll start to realize that you like the taste of the vegetables and not the salt and the processed food that you're eating a lot of, or how they make. And when you eat meat, I mean, if you think about it, it's like a dead animal. You have to spice it up. So you might as well spice up your beans and your mushrooms. Even if you have some processed food, sometimes they've got Gardein ground crumbles. If you have, if you're making something special that you can't seem to get the taste right, the whole food plant-based, though, is really the best way to be. Not only is it less in cost, it can help you. You can be creative. There's so many recipes online, or you can be boring like me. Sometimes I'm just now getting into trying recipes. I just like putting all the vegetables and some beans together. You can have some whole grain oats, and we can like cinnamon in them. You can doctor them up. Let me
You
read.
know
I've
something
actually
too?
been
Almond breeze, for those of you that drink coffee and like the international foods, I had to wean myself off of those because those have a lot of sugar in them. And I'm sure almond breeze does too, but at least it's plant based. It doesn't have actual cream in it. And you'll find that it really flavors your coffee. You don't even need sugar in your coffee. Almond breeze vanilla creamer is
Hi,
excellent for coffee
Candy.
drinkers.
Welcome.
Hey, Candy.
Uh, she said I agree absolutely. Now I might have my computer's doing this weird thing where I think something's wrong with the monitor, so it was blinking on and out. And I just happened to look down at the phone and saw that she said she completely agreed. And I don't know how long ago that was, so I'm so sorry. But thank you for joining. If I missed it, I was like, I'm glad you agreed with us, though. We just don't know which part it was. Maybe it was about the taste of veggies and stuff. So, and I
I
love it.
love the doctor that you love so much, Dr. Milton Mills. I love when he has gone out there on a limb and said, listen, the milk does the body good is not an actual medical fact. It is a marketing slogan.
Yeah, milk does a body good. It's marketing.
It's a
Yeah.
marketing slogan. It's not a medical fact.
And it's like, the biggest part of it is having an open mind to try it, because I never would have thought in 18 that in 2019 I would have not ever ate meat or dairy. And then like 6 months in, it became like more of an ethical thing the more I watched what goes on in like slaughterhouses, and I realized, wait, I'm connecting, these animals are not any different than this animal, that are domestic animals. So, but the main reason I did it was the health benefits, and that kept me motivated. But now the reason I won't even eat it is now more of an ethical thing. So I think you evolve, like we always say, as to like what is your why. And like I think it's great too if people are not all the way plant based. Like I don't know if I've known Miss Candy for years, and I'm like, I don't know for a fact whether she is or not, but I love it when I have people that are on my page just came on maybe to support me, and then they come on and they find some of these things out, and they become more, either eat more vegetables to make themselves healthier, or they might end up at some point going plant based and like healing themselves. And it's like it's such a good feeling. Like it's almost like I get so passionate about letting people know, like, but you never know until you try it, because like you don't, I can't believe I really would say, oh, I can't wait to go eat my vegetables right now. You know what I mean? I can't wait to go eat this type of food. When you are stuck in the other way of eating, that's what your
Hmm.
body craves, like you said.
Right.
Hi Dina, welcome. Thank you for joining in.
Hey,
um
Dina.
Thank you. And oh, okay, everyone's on their phone. Well, thank you for joining on your phone. I've tried to join on the phone before, but it well, I can listen into the YouTube on my phone, but for some reason it doesn't like my sound when I get on the phone, does it, Dawn? I try to come on your stream um
Hmm.
sometimes on my phone, and it chops up. Well, I am so excited that we've come on here, and we've started talking about this. And again, I thank Stephanie for trying to come on. I know we had those
Sorry,
technical
Stephanie.
issues. I
We'll
just
get it
want,
right next week.
yes, and she's gonna pop on here right when the stream's over, just if you leave it up for a minute so we can just see if we can get those technical issues figured out. So maybe by next week we can get that under control. Pastor
Okay.
Dina, definitely check out her page. She has a excellent group, and that she was on with us before, and lets us know how you can, more so to be with Christians who are vegan, and how that plays a part, and how you can deal with being in the church, and how to deal with, sometimes I think that's what a lot of us, you know are trying to figure out too, because you have to figure out how to fit it into your life. It's something that's different. Most people around you are not eating the same way you are, and you have to be strong and realize, like that you're taking control of your health. It's more important for you to, and then once they see how you're excited about it and you're passionate about it, you'll even start, maybe changing their minds, or having them try more stuff in your family, in your household. And like Stephanie, and like most people, once you're passionate about it, and like me and Dawn, we tend to like even talk to people like in the grocery store when they look at our cart, when we used to actually visit the grocery store. Now I've gotten pretty lazy and I just order it. So, but I'm sure the Walmart people are like, what the heck, these people don't eat any meat. But when they're shopping for it, but it's like you want to tell people and you want to put it out there. And that's because a documentary changed the way that that I eat and the way I live, and now I feel, so much lighter. I feel like I've got the peace of mind as I get older now that I'm giving myself the best chance. Anything can happen. We don't know, how long we're going to be here at any point in time, but we want that quality of life. And I want people to take any message out of this is that we can help. There's help there. Come on the groups. We can help you veganize meals or tell you what to eat. If you want like a meal plan, we can help you through it, but just know that you don't have to be on medications that have harmful side effects, all because you just got to make a couple of changes to your diet, and you can literally, whatever you're dealing with, most 99% of these chronic illnesses and pain and whatever you're dealing with can be reversed with a whole food plant-based diet. And there's plenty of, you know things that people that you can even talk to personally that I'm sure would be happy to let you know their story and their journey. And that's what I'm most excited about, just putting that out there, because the other message that's out there is just, hey, you know what, this is all the media is going to promote meat and dairy because it's a big industry, but the more we push ourselves to those products and the more people figure this out, they're going to start having to make more products the other way. Like, speaking of sugar, I was saying earlier though, Reese's I heard made a plant-based peanut butter cup. I think Stephanie shared it. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, maybe I have to cheat one little process thing. Okay. On the weekend. But that's what it becomes now. Our cheat weekend is not, oh, I'm going to go eat a burger and a steak, but when you want that comfort food, you can still have it. They've got Beyond Meat is so good. They've got so many products out now that you don't, if it's a thing of, oh, I'm never going to be able to have ice cream ever again. No, you can. They've got really good, Ben and Jerry's has a good ice cream. So, like, but for the most part, when you're, like what I like to do is throughout the week, and most weekends I don't, but if it is, I'll do like Sunday, like we did pizza last week, which I had on Monday too. I think,
Mhm.
because it was like we were running late on here, and I'm like, I might do another pizza. But every since then, I've had, my Whole Foods, and actually my body prefers them after like I get that out of my system. I'm like
Mhm.
excited to have, just the whole foods, and you realize, wow, this is what my body's meant to eat. You've got a lot of energy, you feel better like spiritually, and not only that, things that you've that are happening to you will start to just go away, and that's going to keep you motivated in itself. I've got like a free grocery list I can send. I recommend too eating like raw, free, like I would charge you for a grocery list, but I've got a grocery list that, I'm like so used to saying that at work. Um, but if you look at, like going to the store, like you want to try, I prefer to eat like a raw salad every day. And I've got that on there too. Like, I put together this salad of all these vegetables that will, like, it's like a power pack thing. It's like it'll reduce inflammation. I've got celery on there that increases your circulation. I've got the broccoli that that will do this and that for your, the carrots, which is going to be great for your skin and everything. So it's like, if you think about, if you put all that good stuff in your body every day, and you start to do this with your kids and start them early, their tastes won't even develop into wanting that other stuff. You're gonna give them the best benefit to be at their, the proper weight. They're not going to be getting all those hormones and things that are causing all kinds of problems, in people, and developing, the World Health Administration or Association or whatever it's called, actually, you can look it up, classified, um, as processed meats, as a carcinogen, the same as smoking. So I mean, it's the healthiest thing you can do, and you can find ways to make it work, trust me, and that you'll be satisfied with what you're eating. And then, speaking of smoking, the last thing I'll say, I remembered what I was going to say when we were talking earlier, Dawn, when you were talking about, the media, it's just marketing. Think about this. There
Mhm.
was a time when doctors were on TV and, advertising Camel cigarettes, and everybody was smoking, because the world didn't know that, or didn't choose to know at that time, that it was really unhealthy for you. Now, if you smoke or you drink or you choose to eat bad, I want that's okay because that's your choice, but I want people to know that you're making a choice. Right now, we're being told that you need meat for protein and that you need milk to do your body good, and it's really hurting you, and that's what's causing you to have to be on medications in a lot of cases. So I just want people to be informed and make the right decision and be able to know the other side, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm always preaching this, I know, but I really do just care about people, and I want people to I like it makes my day like almost like got like $1 million when I hear somebody say, I did that. I went on ahead and I did the plant based. I got all my groceries and I'm feeling so much better. My doctor's taking me off the medication. I love hearing those stories because I'm like, some one piece of information, even if we touch one person that doesn't have to live in pain or with side effects of medication, it is what we do this for.
Yeah. I just there's this guy over in the community that I'm a part of, the trading community that's going through a medical issue right now. And it's just I was reading over one of his Discord messages just now, and it's just like I want to go into listen, are you plant based? But I'm gonna take my time and work my way in because you can't force it down people's throat. But when people are dealing with stuff, it's like, dude, I have, and you could say, well, that's not the end all be all. Yeah, it is the end all be all because that's
One of
exactly what the body needs to heal.
next week's stream, that's a good point. We're going to do on coffee bean, basically how to coffee bean the world into vegan. And what I find works best is instead of saying to him, "Are you plant based? You should be plant based." What I do is I tell my story or I tell the story of someone else and say, I found this online, this story. I'll send you the link. There was actually a guy or a lady or whatever, because whatever he has, and I don't want to, get in his business on the YouTube right now, but whatever is going on, I always do this whenever somebody tells me what they have or what's happening medically. I go online and I Google, I reversed such and such with a plant based diet, and there'll be stories, no doubt, of whatever you type in. So you can kind of like, I like to use iMessages like, hey, I feel like so much better. I don't have allergies anymore since I went plant based, or I don't have back pain anymore. If you want to check it out. But like you said, that's good that you're not, because you don't want somebody to go the other way and run and be like, oh, it's this crazy vegan lady coming at me.
Yeah, right. But it's all good. If we save one, hey, it's all worth it.
Yeah, and at least just making people open up their mind. They might not do it now. They might then go home and, like, after they talk to you, and they might Google it, or if they see something online. It's like sometimes our brain wants to fight what we don't want to hear, and we want to reach out and look for why no, that can't work. I'm going to find the story that didn't work. But it's
Yeah,
like because we don't want to make changes. It's hard to do that. And that's why I think one of the things I like to do is help people on how to change. Put out, here's what I'm eating tonight. Here's what I'm eating today. Here's what Dawn's having to eat. Here's a recipe. Here's what you should buy when you go to the store. Here's how some easy ways to do it, because knowing that you want to, and then that point A to point B is the hardest part. But you have to, like, first make the commitment and just try it, because how will you know if you don't do this for 30 days and you could literally heal yourself? Why wouldn't you? It's
right.
just as simple as getting used to new habits, because habits are exactly what we make of them. We have a habit of eating this way, and once we do this for, what did you tell me? It takes 30 days to create a new habit.
It does. That's
With me and
exactly
my
how.
OCD, it takes 30 minutes. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and do you want to play the poem going out?
Sure, we can do that.
And then after the poem, if you can leave us on, we'll just make sure that Stephanie can get connected, unless it's too late. And if she wants to do it at a different time, or before the show next week, whatever, just message me. But Does anybody else? I want to thank Miss Dina for coming on. I want to thank Candy. That was a nice surprise. Thank you for joining in, and thank you for being on the page. I want to thank everybody who Stephanie, first of all, for trying to come in. We were trying to get you on here. We've got all our normal people that typically listen in. I really appreciate it, even if you don't comment. I know you're here, and I thank you for the support. And I just look forward to everybody healing. Let's do it. Let's get plant rant. Veg
Let's
out
do
with
it.
JJ.
Let's listen to JJ's plant rant.
And this is a.
Go ahead. What was that?
Oh, I was just giving you play. You've actually put this video together.
Aw, thank you. Well, it's your beautiful poem that inspired me to make it. So let's watch this.
If we can become a plant-based nation, we could get off all our medication. We want to keep doing things like we were, donating to organizations claiming to fight for a cure. But the cure is already in front of our eyes, and it's time for us to wake up and realize. We may not want to believe we have control. It's easier for most of us to metaphorically live in a hole. So many stories of how being plant-based has reversed disease. It's funny that we can't stop eating meat with ease. We want to continue to look for the answer, yet people have reversed even cancer. I think finally as a nation, it's time to give people the truthful information. Your hard-earned money is what you pay to take your medicine day after day. Sadly, there's a lot of money being made in people staying sick. This has to finally make something click. We have to have this revelation that a cure means not selling medication. There's so many myths and misconceptions, but it's eye-opening once you make the connections. That meat and dairy are causing insulin resistance, it's not sugar and carbs causing diabetes, for instance. Scientifically, our bodies are not set up like carnivores. We model those who eat plants. If you can heal, why not give it a chance? You follow your car's owner's manual for what gas it takes, yet for our bodies without care, we feed it steaks. That's like giving an unleaded car diesel to drink. Our bodies will reject it, don't you think? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but to be a voice, that when it comes to your health, you have the choice. With just a few adjustments to your diet, I can help if you just want to try it. I've found testimonials that people have reversed every ailment and disease by simply eliminating meat, eggs, milk, and cheese. There's a tasty substitute for all the things you already eat. You can get all your nutrients without eating meat. Save the animals, the environment, and yourself just by making a few different selections off the grocery store shelf. It's never too late. I've seen it work at all age ranges. It's my passion, and I can't wait to hear about your positive health changes. It's time for the world to wake up and heal, and you can start with your very next meal.
All right.
Thank
Way to go,
you.
honey. That's an amazing poem. Very, very good insights.
Well, that
You're so
was,
talented.
and I love the way you put it together. Exactly the message that I wanted people to see in that. Are we still on live?
We are.
Okay. Stephanie, if you are still here, you want to try to click in and we can just see if we can get these technical issues figured out. If not, let's do it next week, a half hour before, if that's cool, before the show starts. And I think it's going to be 7:30 the same time. But if that changes, we can or work it around when you're free, as long as it's not too early, because I think we have to work. But well, everyone, thank you for coming. And we are here every Meatless Monday. And if there's topics you want us to discuss, definitely do that. I saw that pretty cow, and it made me think I wanted to talk about the way the cows are treated, but I won't do it. Um,
Just a
I just
heads
am
up
really
too.
thankful.
Just a heads up too, Stephanie. You can come click the link and come back on. And once we kill the live, we can still talk backstage. So in that respect, we don't have to be live while we're trying to figure the bugs out. So come on back in, and once I shut down the stream, we can still talk backstage and try to figure it out.
And I've gotten a couple of messages while we were doing this too, on Facebook about different people to that might be great to interview. If you have a positive health changes story, there's another show that Amazing Transformations as well as Meatless Monday, but I'm trying to tie them both in. So we'd love to have a segment every week with someone who or more than one person just to come on and talk about the positive health changes that you've experienced, or even if you just feel better, or the reason is for animals or health, whatever the case. If you have a story you want to tell, we'd love to hear from you, because I think that's the best way to get the point across. I can say it all day, Dawn. You can tell your story with me every week, but the more people we have, the more people that will say, hey, okay, this worked for them. And that's the same thing I have, So, um, I definitely want to try to get some more personal testimonies on. That would be great. So reach out on Facebook. The link is in the description, or you can email jjveganolledge@gmail.com. And don't forget, tomorrow we got Takeover Tuesday. If you're tired of all this talk about health and food and vegetables, and you want to just have some fun and you watch reality TV, come on to Dawn JJ Video Reacts page tomorrow at, usually it's between 7:30 and 8:30. You'll see the notification,
Absolutely.
and we talk some reality TV and kind of just relax and enjoy.
Well, I'm good to go if you are.
Yes, I'm good. I was just I'm good. I'm starving. I can't wait to go eat vegetables.
Guys,
There
thank
you
you
go.
so much for coming and being part of this live stream. It was amazing. Jen, thank you for inspiring me to get healthy.
Oh, thank you for being healthy with me. It's so fun.
All right, you
Okay,
guys
see
have
y'all.
have a good night.